This is TWiP. Hey there, folks. Welcome back to another TWiP Pro critique session. I'm here with Troy Miller, who he and I both are going to put on our critical hats and go through some of the latest submissions into the TWiP Pro. What's the name of our channel in there? Photo critique channel within the TWiP Pro community. And as we were saying off camera, we're going to try our very best not to crush hopes and dreams as we walk through these images. But in all seriousness, there's some pretty dang good images in there. So
there are, yeah.
I'm humbled by the images that people are submitting into the community. So thank you all for having the guts to submit an image and have it be reviewed, right, Trey?
Right.
Yeah. All right. So you ready to do this, man? I say you just dive right in.
I'm ready.
You sure? You ready for this? Okay. This is my buildup. All right. So the first image is from TWiP member and host of TWiP Glam, Brian Fisher. So I'm going to share my screen here. Boom, boom, boom. Where's TWiP Pro? Here it is. Okay. So here we go. I'll blow this guy up. All right. Can you see that okay?
I can, yeah, and I've got that on my other screen over here so I can see it nice and big.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so this is from Brian Fisher. So let's just going cold. What are your first thoughts on the shot?
Well, my first impression was the impact. I mean, I love the pose. I love the direction of lighting. What a creative way, to do a boudoir or sort of a sexy portrait. I love the flowers. I do know that he made a comment in the feed there about how once you've done this, now he's gluing flowers on lots of his models.
Yeah.
It is great, and I love the black and white treatment. So he's done a fantastic job. There were just two things that really stuck out to me right away, and one is, and you may not be able to see it on the screen share there, but right under her left elbow is a little patch of sand, and maybe nitpicky, but I like to fix those kind of things. I see those things as we discussed sort of off camera. We talked about competition and entering in state and national competitions, and you'll get dinged for stuff like that. Very easy to fix. And then of course, the right hand, although I understand why it might have been placed there, she could have turned into the sunlight a little bit because we can't see her arm. And I think that's really important.
Yeah, you pointed that out to me before we started recording, that her hand looks sort of disembodied in there because of the shadow when you first look at it. Yeah, and because of the angle, I think, of her wrist as well. It's kind of a double whammy. Okay. Anything else?
If you want to really tweak an image like this and you just want to take it to the finest degree, look for little things like that little highlight, which is off to the center, lower third, just reflecting off of the rock.
Oh, yeah, this guy right here, right? Yeah.
That one there, and there's one above it. If you go up, it's a little bit larger.
These? Yeah.
Our eyes are drawn to bright spots in an image, and those can be distracting. One other little nitpick that I may point out is, I don't know where it's coming from, but I wish I could move a pointer. Immediately to the right of her right arm, along the arm, there's a bit of a halo, and then right below that, it looks like a shadow. Do you see the shadow just
down here?
Right. Yeah, right down there. If you follow straight down, it looks like there's a shadow right there.
Oh, this here. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. See,
sure
that's interesting. And I can see it. It's actually down here a little bit as well. See that?
Yep.
There's kind of a little ghost back there.
Maybe a
Brian,
little
if you're watching this, let us know what that is. Is that, maybe that was where he was sort of doing his dodge and burn or something, and didn't get close enough right there.
Yeah. Well, it didn't get past us, did it?
No. Let that be a lesson to you. We're going to look close. Talk about pixel peeping, right? So my comments, I have a couple comments on this image. Like we always say, this is a great image. Thank you for submitting this. The thing that there's two things that hit me about this image that were, I think, a little bit distracting. The first was that the background beautiful bokeh, but maybe too much bokeh back there. She's on a beach, and I want to see a little bit more detail, just a little bit more back there, so I know what's going on. You know, in a beach scene like this is, I don't know, it's just something that makes me want to see more behind her. And then the other piece of it is, we always say that color, if color doesn't add to an image, then get rid of it in photography, which is, you know, what Brian did here with this black and white shot. But in this case, I believe I've seen another shot that Brian did with flowers like this, and I know those flowers are like pink and purple and that kind of thing. And for flowers, I feel like you want to see color in flowers. For some reason, it's like you want, like, flowers need to be in color no matter what. I don't know why. So when I look at it, I see that, and I see, okay, I want to see that in color. And then obviously Brian lives in Central California, so this is on a Central Californian beach. So the color version, I would love to see a color version of this image that shows the bluish green water with the brown rocks and, you know, beige sand in the background with, you know, I'm guessing her hair is blonde, and then with, you know, the pink and purple flowers, you know, that it could really pop, you know, I don't know. So that's just my
thoughts. That would be interesting. I think that what he did with the black and white is great, but you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did look up his website after this and seen some that he did in color, and they are really spectacular.
Yeah, Brian's a great photographer. He definitely doesn't give himself enough credit, and he does a really good job with this stuff and loves what he's doing. And Brian, if you listen, you also love spending money on gear too. So, and he's laughing right now. All right, come on, let's move to the next image here. So I'm scrolling down. Let's see. These are all the comments. So if you guys join TWiP Pro, you can read the comments.
Yeah, lots of comments. We actually critique them before we critique them.
Yes, we do. Hey, who submitted this one? Tell us what was on your mind. This is from you.
Yeah.
What was on your mind with this image, Troy?
we were discussing props, and he was talking about his flowers, and I was discussing a time when I used to take this red chair everywhere. And this is one of my couples this is his dairy farm, Jason and Tani. And they love the red chair. We would only take the red chair to one location. It would never go to a location twice. And this was one of those locations. Yeah, we drove out into this field and dropped it off and did our photo session there, and it was a lot of fun. And there's one shot where he's carrying it, because that was the rule. They had to carry the chair.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, I had to carry the chair.
Nice. So they put a little sweat equity into the shot, right?
Yeah.
Ah, I love it. That's cool. That's a great concept. I love the concept of the repeating element in a series of photos, so that there's actually a story back there. Right?
Yeah, and that red chair went everywhere, from the Griffith Observatory to Joshua Tree to the beach it went everywhere.
Wow. Do you still have it?
No, we got rid of it. I'm trying to think where it went. I don't remember where it went.
Wow.
Yeah, we gave it to somebody who wanted it. They took it. Maybe one of the red chair couples took it, I think that's what happened.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going down. Here's one from Alex Chavez. Let's take a look at this one. All right, Troy, go.
Yeah, I love his shirt. Cool shirt.
I didn't even notice this shirt. It's Darth on there. Yeah,
of course.
Yes.
I have a great friend of mine. He has a son who's named Anakin, so he loved this image.
Wait a minute, he named his son Anakin.
He did. And Chris, that's a shout out for you right there. I know you're going to watch this later, but he did for real.
That's awesome.
Super cool kids. Yeah.
Anakin, that's a cool name. Man,
yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah, he's
okay.
Cool
all
kid.
right.
So anyway,
critique this one.
So with this image, my thing is that this is his son, and sometimes family is really hard to photograph, but kids especially, you need to let them play. He's trying to pose him next to a tree, and for me, the boy and then the tree being stacked right there. There's this beautiful field to the right with some backlight or something that I just want to put him in, and there's really not a lot that I would do to this existing image, but what I would suggest is that in the future, when you're photographing kids, let them play, let them go run and earn their trust, whether it's mom or dad or they're your client. And then once you've done that, he'll come over and do anything you want in front of that tree. And then in this case, don't stack him on the tree. You want some depth there. And I would say move him to the side, use the tree as a foreground or a small background element. But great location. I love his expression too. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, he's like, Dad, take the photo. Can you take the photo? I want to go play. Yeah, and I would agree with every single thing you said, and I would add to it that if you were going to repose, I'm assuming his son's name is Mason, because that's the title he has up there.
Oh, yeah.
If you were going to pose Mason, I want to, I'm looking at that great tree back there. I want to see him like sitting with his back to the tree in profile almost, with, like you said, showing the trees in the background and all that great backlight, and it's soft focus back there, and maybe Mason's doing something like reading a book, or I don't know, maybe he's a lightsaber or something. I don't know, but he's like right there, well, but tell a story with it rather than this is than not, because you have all these awesome elements there.
Right. And I thought he said what he shot this with. I don't remember, but if you've got a shallow depth of field, if you got a lens that you can shoot shallow with, use the tree as a foreground, and then create your middle ground, and then have your background. You're creating that depth that draws the viewer through the image.
And it looks like he clearly has a great camera and a great lens that can do some pretty good.
Oh, it's all there. It's all there.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah, Alex, good job, man. Keep it up.
Very nice.
Submit more. All right, let's move on down here. Look at all this feedback. You guys are so great. Hey, Tim Engel, look at that. Doing this one. All right, what do you think?
I love this. This isn't in my wheelhouse as photographing models go. So fashion is a completely different style for me. So I really just love looking at these and the work that he creates, and this ability to be creative and just throw these elements together and do this stuff. I really don't have a lot of critical suggestions for this. I think that maybe a little bit of vignetting, bringing some focus in on the eyes just a bit, or the center of the faces, things, that upper left corner, bring that down a tad. But I think you nailed it. Great image.
Yeah. I don't have much to add to this one either. I mean, Tim knows what he's doing. He's a commercial and professional photographer, so everything that's in this image is intentional, right? So
right.
And so everything I say is going to be completely subjective. The only thing that I would throw in is, looking at this image, I'd want to see, again, I guess I like colors and oversaturation, and there's so many beautiful colors in this thing, and it feels like it's a little bit on the washed out side. So I'd want to, maybe pop it a little bit so I could bring out those oranges and cyans and magentas, and then her eyes are fantastic. I'd want to see her eyes pop out just a little bit more. Maybe the whites are a little bit whiter and the irises, do a little bit of work on there so that they're just not obviously retouched, but just to bring out what was actually there. So that'd be my only comments.
Right. And as we had discussed earlier, for me, I look at a lot of these images as if they were going into competition, not simply just what maybe the artist created, but I try to look at them because I do a lot of competition things. And with that in mind, I would retouch that little paint smudge on her neck on the left, just above that horizontal line. And then
this guy right here,
he has a little bit of a grimace on his face. Above his left eye, you can see how he's kind of furrowing his head.
Here.
And I'm not quite sure if that's intentional or
both sides. He's just painted on this side, so you can't see
where the story is in that. So some of those little things, titles can sometimes make such a difference in how we view an image. So maybe if you guys are going to submit some more, which you will, maybe think of a title.
Or even I would even take it a little further. What I would love to see, like, if it's a photo like this, a little, not a novella or a novel, just like a little short paragraph, whether it's fictional or factual, about the story. that behind this photo, this was Princess so-and-so, and this is her, whatever. I don't know, just something to bring you into the photo, because words matter, right? I mean, just to illustrate what you were going for in the shot.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, I totally agree.
Love it. All right. Here's Craig. Craig Stampley has got us a good image in here. Okay. Here we go. What do you think, Troy?
Right. Well, I love this image. And later in the feed, he does actually do several of the things that I had suggested. And that is the right side of the image, camera right, is so bright with the back of that left hand and the elbow and the arm. That to me either needs to be brought down like in exposure, or cropped off and then toned down the blouse. And that's exactly what he did. He did submit one, I think, today. And that to me would fix everything in this image that I see. I love the reflection.
Are you talking about over here? This brightness area right here?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. Yeah, because our eyes are naturally drawn to the brightest spot in the image. And really the story here is her face and her eyes and that just wonderful smile and those red lips. And her blouse and the arm and the shadow from the rearview mirror is a bit distracting.
Yeah. No, I hear you. There were some great comments on different ways to crop the image in TWiP Pro as well. Yeah, and it depends on what the ultimate usage is for this. So my comments echo yours on the sort of the lighting in your eye going to the brightest area in the image, but then also it's the whole idea of, or the issue with her arm on this side. Because it's kind of shooting off the side, and I don't know where it's going or what's going on. It's kind of the amputee thing going on there, right? So it's not. I know what she's doing as a human. I know she's leaning on the back.
Right.
But in the limited world of a photograph, I would love to have seen something else to let me know what her hand was doing, or bring her, if it was possible to pose her, to bring her arm more into the frame, so that we're not seeing the cutoff arm there. I don't know. In an image competition, would they flag that, the cutoff arm, or would they just be like, oh yeah, this is just the part of the action in the pose itself?
Maybe if this was entered in a portrait category where it's assumed that you have ultimate control over the subject in lighting and posing, yeah, you would probably get dinged for that a little bit. If this was photojournalistic, probably not so much. The idea that it's burned down, it's kind of out of frame, it's not as big a deal, but you're absolutely right. Those little details will have a huge impact when you get into competitions.
Yeah, if this is photojournalistic and he was like a day in the life of Cuba or something,
right?
I could see, absolutely. This woman happened to be in the car, and he turned to the right and saw her and snapped the photo. That's magic, right?
Yeah, and then that difficulty level in this image goes way up in the technical skill to create it as a photojournalistic snapshot, not a snapshot, but a moment captured. Is much more difficult than if you had the car there and you said, okay, climb in, do this. Right. Now you have control. There's an expectation that you would do certain things, that you would notice them first. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, because he had to tack sharp on the eyes through a windshield, probably in some motion. Yeah, so very good. Very good. All right. Well, let's move on here. All right, here's another one from TWiP Pro member Kyle Nishioka. Look at that.
Yeah, this one's really cool. I really dig this. Right away, I see the leg and the arm crossing in the back. And that was just
the little intersection.
Yeah. And that was really one of my biggest things with this. I realized that there's strobe and there's probably ambient light. There's a little bit of blurring around the edges of her body. If you look at it nice and close, probably just a little bit of that motion and then the strobe stopping. But what a great shot. I mean, her toe is pointed, her right toe is pointed great. Her back toe is pointed great. I mean, the pose is awesome. It's just
a lot of energy.
A lot of energy. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering, did he capture this? Kyle, did you capture this like this? Or are those clouds posited back there? Because I want to say this was captured like that, and he shot it from low against clouds that were actually there. What do you think?
I think it's very likely that he did. I looked at it. There's a little bit of haloing on her top right leg that I thought maybe was from cloning, but
And maybe
this
on the
is really,
belly right here. Yeah.
yeah, it's really hard to tell. I'm looking at it bigger on my left. That's why I'm looking over there.
Mhm.
The only technical suggestion that I would make in this is the light is really hot on her chest, and you can burn that
And
down,
here.
bring up
Mhm.
her face a tad. So we really want to focus on her face, the underneath of her left arm. We may want to bring that down. Just some dodging and burning, just remove some of that specular highlight from there. But I love the presentation too. This is great. Framed in a black
Mhm.
frame with his name
Yep.
down
Yep.
there, square.
It's almost like a numbered print.
Yeah. Well, this is what you would do in competition without your name. You would create a presentation, you would finish it, and with a frame and stuff. And this is really nice. I like that.
Very cool. All right. See, we haven't crushed any dreams yet. Oh, and here's Craig's cropped version. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, is that what you were talking about in terms of cropping the image?
It was. Yeah, it was very much. Because see, now for me, it's very much about her eyes. It's very much about the lips and the expression. And that right arm does tend to show up a little bit more now because he's in closer. But this is kind of where I was going.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah, I'm split on that because the other one, let me go back to the other one. The other one, that one's beautiful, but this other one, yeah, I can see what you're saying. Yeah, it's you remove elements, so you go straight to the face. But this one, I instantly think Cuba. Right. Because I don't know, the chrome and then all the bright colors and I in the car because Cuba's known for having vintage cars, right? So I instantly think Cuba. When I come down to the cropped version, I still kind of think Cuba because I don't know if she's Cuban or not, but there's still that color palette is still there, but I don't instantly think Cuba. So and maybe that's a good thing or a bad thing. This image, if this was to be a saleable stock photo type thing, it could be used in many different instances versus one that was specifically targeted for people that want Cuban images.
Right. No, that's, yeah, there's as much as we critique these, we all see them in a certain way. I may see this as a model shoot and you see it as a commercial shoot, and he may have done it just for fun, and it all fills the elements in differently in how we perceive the image. So it's important for the maker to understand that somebody may look at that and be distracted by something that the maker didn't see.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I see, if this was a photojournalistic image and you come to this one, this could very easily be like a 2-page spread, right? In a magazine in an article about Cuba. Here's the middle of the magazine here, and then you've got your title and text over here.
Do an overlay, screen down the arm, and
absolutely.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Just saying. I'm just saying. All right.
Such vision you have.
Hey, hey, those who can't do teach, right? No, these are all really good. Everyone's
great.
Yeah, we all have opinions on everything, right? There's no shortage of opinions on the planet these days.
Right.
But
right.
Why not try to share and give people some feedback? Sorry for the noise behind me. I'm having some construction done on the house. So I'm multitasking right now.
That's good. That's good.
All right. Well, let's jump out of this. This is the last one for this critique session. Let's see if I can get my camera back on. There we go. Cool. What do you think overall, this body of work that was submitted this time?
I think it's great. I really do. I'm always excited to see images at any level. So whether you're a full-time pro or you're a hobbyist, you want to see more images because there's so much to learn and there's so much to digest. And oftentimes I'll look at images and went, man, I wish I had thought of that, or I wish I had done that,
Right. Yeah.
So I love seeing these, and they're all spectacular, and kudos to those who are submitting them for us to critique. That's great. And I feel very honored to be able to do that.
Likewise. I echo everything you say. Troy Miller, thanks for donating some of your time to help critique these. Where can people go to see more of your stuff and critique your images? Well, and crush your hopes and dreams.
Yes. It's been done to me, and I am proud of it. You can go to imageryconcepts.com is my website. That's my wedding website, so you can see some of my wedding work there. And you can also go to Spicy Jello at Instagram and see some of my fine art stuff, things that light on fire. So,
oh yeah, you were quite the pyro guy that captures fleeting moments in time of things exploding and burning, which is art in and of itself. Yeah, wait, that's not what happened to your afro, is it?
Well, maybe this is the sun. I think the sun did this.
That's playing him, right? Awesome.
It's all fire. Man. It's all fire, my friend.
It's all fire. It's all fire. Cool. All right, man. Thank you so much for doing this, and hopefully you'll agree to do another one of these things in the future.
As many times as you ask, I will try to be here.
Awesome. You heard it here. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
All right. Take care.
This is TWiP.